Alright guys, today I'm going to be walking you through the assembly of a four-wheel drive. And as you can see, these are the parts you need. You need the four motors. You need also this part. And these are your rods for connecting these two interfaces together. And these are the screws. And also we have these rubbers here that are going to be attaching this to the motors. And without wasting any much time, let's get to it. All right, so right here with me, I have my rods. So you can see the rods are of two types. There are some that have these threads on them, and some of them don't actually have the threads. So what we are going to do is, if your own don't have this type of threads, we can use the screws to tie it up. So what we are going to do is, we're going to pick the screw like this and attach the rod behind it. So we are going to do it this way. So you tie it like this. That's if yours is not having a rod, a thread on your rod. So if yours also have this thread, you will just put it in here, then you will use the knots, right? Then you tie on it. So this is the same process we are going to be doing for all other four rods that we are going to be putting. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you are supposed to have 6, but my chassis is a bit broken, so I'm going to go with the 5.
Big boy, baby. Vamos comer chapéu.
Okay, so here am I. I'm done putting my own rods, so you can see I have 5 of them. You're supposed to be having 6 on your own end, so except if yours is having a broken level too. So you're going to be having 6. So after this, we are supposed to be covering it like this, but we are not doing it right now. Okay, now that our chassis is complete, the next thing we are going to be doing is placing the motors on this chassis. All right. So, but the first thing we are going to do is we need to add our wires to this motor. If you have your soldering iron and you are good with soldering, you can easily solder it. And for those of us that don't know much of soldering, we are going to be putting the wires manually and squeezing it through. Okay. So this is what you're going to do. You first of all peel your wire. You peel the wire and make sure it's this way. Then there's 2 holes here, right? So you can easily put it through one of the holes. And you can tie it. Just twist the wire around it and make sure it's firmly, and don't over tight it so that you will not break the brooms or the connector or the hole. So you can see I've already connected one of my wire. I'm now going to be connecting the second wire, which is the black. So we are going to do the same thing. You put it inside this hole and you squeeze it through too. Okay, so you're going to be doing the same thing for all your motors. So you can see I've already done mine. You do this, you do the same thing for all your motors. All right, so now that we have our motors ready, so we are now going to assemble the motors. So now these rubbers, we are going to be placing them on the motors. So you are going to see this direction, this particular position. You will see there's a dot there. You can clearly see a dot here. So that's the point where you are going to put this, right? So you add it like this on it. Yep. So we do the same thing for all the motors. Okay, so once we have placed the motors and they are now ready for mounting, we are going to be using these two beautiful connectors. So on your chassis, you're going to see these 4 holes. This 1, 2, 3, 4. These are where you're going to be placing your motors. So each of the motor is going to be needing 2 of these connectors. So how are we going to place this one? You pick one of the motors, then you place this in here like this, making sure that this part, this rubber, is going to be inside this space. So you place it like this. Okay, so after placing it like this, now you are going to bring the other one to stay here. You can see there is a small cutting edge here. That's why you are going to place this one inside. Yes. So we put this like this. We are going to use these long screws. We are going to use these long screws, and you are going to see these 2 spaces, right? So first of all, you are going to put the screw inside, and then you put it in this hole of the motor, and you make sure it passes through the same hole of that connector, which is the second one. So it's going to come out like this. Then we can now use our nuts and tie it to. Good. So you can see here we have mounted one of our motors successfully. We are going to do the same for all other motors. Like I said, you put this one here. You're going to put it here, and you make sure this rubber side is going to be facing inside the motor. You pick your screw and you attach it to this one. Then you put it in this hole like this, and you make sure this screw also passes inside the other motor. Good. So now that we have mounted these 2 motors, don't forget there are 2 holes here for the screws. We're going to mount the second screw, and don't forget, please don't over tight the first one so that the second one will not give you a problem to put. Okay. Okay, so we are good to go. And for some of us that are going to be having challenge after putting the motor, it might be shaking. What you need to do is you press this down and you also press your motor down before you tight this properly. That is going to stop the motor from shaking. You will check that all your, you see like this one, it's shaking. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press this down. I'm going to press this down too with my two hands. So I'm going to press down like this and press the motor itself down. Then I'm going to tie this. And when I'm done, you notice that my motor is no longer shaking. Alright guys, so if you have been busy, yeah, we've been busy, so you can see if you have done your own completely following the same process, you'll be able to attain this stage. So this is where we have successfully mounted this, and we're now going to cover our chassis like this, right? Yeah. So in order not to forget anything, we are going to be mounting this. This is our battery. So we're going to be mounting it here. Yes. So you can look for any convenience pin here or hole you are going to use to mount this. If you don't have a place to mount it, please feel free to just drop the super glue here and mount it here. But for this, we're going to be using these two rods here, right? So I'm going to put one here. You will see this space that looks like a cross. There is a hole near it, beside it. So you can put it like this and tie. That's one. You can place it here and you can look for a matching hole, which is the next one here. And then we put it. So that when you put it like this, good, then we can now mount this one on it. Alright, so I've successfully tied my first screw. I'm going to do the same here. I actually have an extra of this rods, that's why I'm using it here. Most of the four-wheel drive don't come with the rods for putting these battery packs. Okay. So I'm going to be tying the next screw. So you can see I've successfully mounted my battery. Now I'm going to be closing the chassis. I'm going to be closing the chassis. Alright, so these wires, you can easily just pass them through this space, like this. Yeah. You can easily do it this way. Now we do the same to this side. Great. So that we can access the motors easily. Alright, so after all of this, we are now going to be covering this by tying screws on each of the rod holes, on each of the mounting holes on the rods. we're going to be adding these guys here. All right, so good. So we have successfully mounted our own. So if yours is having this rod here, like I said, mine is broken, you can tie yours and you are done. So next thing we are going to do is we're going to mount the wheels to make it look more awesome. Yeah. So here we go. Good. So here we are. Now we have our four-wheel drive completely assembled. Thank you very much. So we just showed you how you are going to be assembling this each time you buy yours, or whenever you disassemble the assembled one that was given to you for reverse engineering. And this is the easy access for you to get how to do this. Pretty easy, right? So thank you very much. All right, guys, thank you very much for staying with us, and we have completed our today's project. See you on the next video. Thank you. Bye bye.